I'm Divyashree Nageswaran, and I'm going to talk about unlearning intelligence, letting go to become. So, I'm going to talk about the insights that I had gathered over the years through my life and career journey. A few years ago, I had become a researcher, a plant scientist. I had just completed my PhD at the University of Cambridge. My life looked very certain, well defined. When I was 26, when I had just joined Cambridge, I had just gotten married. I had married the person I loved, but I wasn't fully ready for everything that came with marriage. The expectations, the roles. My husband supported me, no doubt. That wasn't the struggle. The struggle was within me. I was trying to fit into a life I hadn't fully grown into it yet. Because I was still chasing the idea of a perfect career, growing in my field and getting everything right. In 2019, I completed my PhD at Cambridge. I was a Marie Curie Fellow, and I was focused on publishing my research. At the same time, I was also starting to interview with some of the top seed companies. I made it through the first rounds, but not all the way. At that time, UK was going through Brexit, and I didn't have the visa to transition smoothly into a job. And then the COVID hit, we all know that. By January 2020, we came back to India, myself and my husband, thinking it was all temporary. But things didn't go as planned. It reached a point where I had to make a choice to step away from research and co-founded a textile export business unit in my hometown, Coimbatore. I hope most of us might have heard about Coimbatore. If not, it's a beautiful place from South India, a must-watch. Back to the story, I wasn't mentally prepared to take up this new role, to gel myself into the new business. I felt I had to begin everything from the scratch. My instinct was to learn more, to prepare more. But it wasn't that learning I was afraid of. It was starting over. At that point, I became very tired of starting all over again and transitioning into a different career. To climb the ladder again, to prove myself again, I was already tired. And that's when I realized I didn't need to learn more. I needed to unlearn. Unlearn what I had been holding on to for years. The beliefs I never questioned, but still lived by. That's when I discovered something, what I now call unlearning intelligence. Unlearning intelligence changed everything for me. It allowed me to step into a completely different career. So I began to let go of what I had always believed, that my self-worth was always tied to my core profession, that staying in one path defined my value. And then I realized that belief wasn't true. What I had learned, practiced, gained all the skills, and built over the years didn't go to waste. It found its place in a new journey, in a new career I was building with my husband. It wasn't as difficult as I imagined. The confidence, that I had gained from handling research projects over the years showed up again in a new platform, from research projects to large P&L responsibilities. And in that moment, I realized my self-worth was never limited to one profession. It could expand across roles, across paths, across possibilities. My potential didn't belong to a role, it belonged to me. So, when I let go of all those preconceived notions and the fear of switching into an entirely new career, I stepped into something new. I became an entrepreneur, not by becoming someone new, but by letting go of what I had thought, my beliefs, what I had thought to be. And I wonder how many of us here are holding on to those beliefs we never chose. Beliefs like, I've invested too much to change, this is who I am, it's too late, things like that. So we always come across these phrases, right? So we have always told that to ourselves when we always had some low confidence with us. But what if it's not about starting over? What if it's about letting go? We often think growth comes from learning more, but sometimes it comes from unlearning, letting go of what that no longer serves us, so something new can emerge, in our walks of life. You don't need to stop learning, but you don't need to carry everything else forward either. When life opens a new path, don't fear stepping into it. Not age, not career breaks are excuses. What you have built over the years, your skills, your experience, all that you have accumulated, they don't disappear, they evolve with you. All you need is the willingness to use what you already have and the openness to learn what comes next. Maybe the question isn't about what more do I need to learn. Maybe the question is all about what do I need to let go? Because when we let go, we don't lose who we are. We make space for who we can become. And maybe becoming isn't about adding more, it's all about letting go. Let go to become. Thank you.